Okay. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the Rapido monthly update. Today we are covering the February 2024 monthly update. As usual, we'll be following this outline. First, we'll be speaking to topics of the Rapido community. Then we'll be covering the monthly release and then acknowledging frequently asked questions and addressing the questions that you share with us today. Okay, first off, the topics related to our Rapido community. This item related to our Rapido community is the growth of the community this month. We see that we now have 119 live libraries. New to our community this month of February, Monash University, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, excuse me, the Education University of Hong Kong, and Hong Kong St. Francis University. So a lot of libraries went live this month in February, and we welcome them to our Rapido community. On the topic of growth of the community, you might have seen this announcement that came out on February 1st. The University of North Carolina system selects Ex Libris Library Solutions. A part of that selection is choosing Rapido. And so we welcome those libraries to the community towards joining our community and going live with Rapido. Another topic from our community this month, we had a great webinar with a speaker Peggy from Florida Gulf Coast University. The webinar was how to apply the online shopping model to interlibrary loans. I'll share the webinar recording for you with you at the end in case you missed this webinar. You're welcome to watch it and share it with other colleagues who might have questions about the use of Rapido and the experience of a library using Rapido. Another important topic for the Rapido community is the Aluna Conference. The registration is now open, and I look forward to seeing you there. Additionally is the Igloo Conference. They're now accepting proposals through April 21st. If you plan on attending the Igloo Conference, I also encourage you to put in a proposal to speak to your experience at your library, and our team looks forward to seeing you at the Igloo Conference as well. Okay, another topic that is important for our community is Rapido receiving the FedRAMP authorization from the US government. I received a question about what this means. We have this announcement here from February 6th, and essentially what this means is there are organizations and agencies that require this authorization, and now that Rapido has this authorization, it means that Rapido is an option to be a resource sharing solution for those agencies. So that's an achievement, and we welcome what that can mean for our community. Okay, now to the release highlights. Today I will be covering the March release. Okay, our first couple items in our March release relate to the theme of Connect. In our last month's webinar, I want to acknowledge again today, behind the scenes, there's a lot of work being done to make Rapido available for libraries who aren't using Alma in addition to all of these other developments. So just wanted to acknowledge that today as well. Rapido continues to grow to be available for libraries who may not be using Alma. Topic that we are actively working on behind the scenes is related to ebook resource sharing functionality. We have a lot of work on this topic every month, and we'll be presenting to you once we have a comprehensive workflow for you to be using. So that look forward to that in months to come, that ebook resource sharing functionality coming to your Rapido environments. For functionality that you'll see hitting your environment with the March release, one of these items is the new indicator on partner records. One of these indicators that has been added is the notes indicator. So here you've got to see the screenshot of the library's partner list and their notes Parameter is visible with it selected with a green checkbox indicating that this partner does in fact have a note on them. This notes field will not be visible out of the box. It's something that you can add. So that little icon there with the green dot, if we select that, you'll see the various fields that are available to you to have visible in your partner view. And if you select the notes field, you'll now see that in that partner list. If you need to add a note to your partner, it's very easy. From the partner, go into the notes tab and add a note. If you add a note to your partner and select that field to be visible as a column in your partner list, you'll then see that green checkbox of the note indicator next to your partner. Okay, another indicator coming in the March release is an indicator of Rapido partner. And so here you can see an example where the green checkbox is indicating which of these partner records are in fact a Rapido partner. Here's a little bit more behind the scenes of what makes a Rapido partner for having that Rapido indicator visible on your partner list. So Rapido partner is a partner that is automatically created by the Rapido workflow. And for example, when the request is sent from a Rapido partner to a non-Rapido partner and both partners are part of the hybrid pod, that indicator will now be made on the partner because they're now seen as a Rapido partner. Okay, another aspect to the March release that makes the Rapido partner parameter really helpful is we do have a new functionality coming where you can see this action on the more actions list next to the partner record to merge partner records. I want to make it clear that this is not an action that we expect to be heavily used necessarily. It's only useful for kind of a cleanup capacity. If you have specific use cases where you think this might be useful for your library, let's connect. Happy to talk it through with you to see that this functionality makes sense to you. It is just a new action that you'll see under your partners list, but you might not necessarily need it at your library. Use cases where we really see this being useful. For example, we've got libraries who are part of the first hybrid pods in Rapido, and a part of that hybrid pod functionality in the initial stages where there were some duplicate creation of partners. You'll now be able to merge those various partner records into the one Rapido partner record so that you don't have two copies of the partner, which can make it easier if you are manually assigning a partner to a request. You don't have to discern which record you'll be choosing. So this is a really good use case for this merge partner action. If you have other kind of use cases that you're considering, let's chat. Happy to walk through them with you and see if this makes sense for your library. Now, how this works, if you are going to use it, is from the more action, select the merge on the partner. Then you'll get a new screen here, and you see the arrow on the right-hand side there. You'll be selecting the partners that you want to merge into, and it makes it clear which partners you are taking and merging into remaining partner record. Okay, the remaining developments this month are under our theme of optimize. They are related to Rapido Analytics. So let's look at what those are. We have a new Rapido Analytics dashboard, data visualization dashboard. So some fun new ways of looking at your data compared to what we've had before. The first kind of tab in this dashboard is labeled Fulfilled Lending Requests per Borrower. You've got a couple different data points here. You've got your top 5 partners as a bar chart. You have a map that's interactive that you can move around on, that you can hover over and get information when you hover. There's a table on the right-hand side that has some of the information such as location and filled requests, and then you've got some total requests information on the top as well. Similarly, we have this from the other perspective, fulfilled borrowing requests per lender with similar visualizations. You've got the bar chart again, the map, the table, and the general request number fields. New analytics visibility to you here. Another tab in the dashboard is related to average arrival time for borrowing requests per lender. So looking at what those turnaround times might be for your particular partners, give you some transparency and visibility there. And one more tab in the analytics dashboard is looking at resource sharing requests per user group. So some per user group information for you to look at how folks are using your service based on their user group at your library. Of these various tabs in that new data visualization dashboard have some kind of filtering parameters available. So I've got two screenshots here of the rejected lending request per borrower tab. And along the top of it, you'll see the various little boxes, partner status, partner name, institution name, etc. And you can filter based on these topics within that dashboard to customize the view that you're looking for. So that top screenshot, for example, if you're looking for a specific date range, that lets you engage with changing the date range that you want your data to display for. Similarly, the bottom screenshot there, if you're looking at requested format digital versus physical, there is a capacity for you to filter that information, that data to suit the visualization that you're looking for as well. Okay. Additional items in analytics within the March release. We've got some new fields available in the analytics. You'll find new fields under the borrowing request resource sharing and the lending request resource sharing partners. So these fields are the copyright payment responsibility, the direct charge indicator, the maximum request cost, and the use consolidated billing. These are all new fields that we addressed in previous releases as being available now in your lending shipping rules and visible in your and working with in your requests where you might be having charges with your various partners. And so now you'll be able to run analytics on these different fields if you want to in reviewing this about your partners. So from the partner level, we also jump to the request level with some new fields in analytics. So under the borrowing request details, as well as the lending request details section, you'll have some new fields available. These fields include the base fee amount, the copyright fee amount, page overage fee amount, and service level fee amount. Again, these were the different fields that you can configure with your shipping charges, and you'll now be able to see them in analytics. So for this kind of screenshot here, create an example of creating a report where I'm dragging these different fields into the report so that I can take a look at what those have come to at my library. Okay, and then at a glance, I just want to acknowledge there were quite a few various resolved issues in March. One of the big ones, the hybrid pod functionality. So if your library is participating in a hybrid pod, we've done a lot of work there to expand and resume the functionality of your library's capacity to work with your hybrid pod partners. If you've got more questions on that, let's talk about it. Additionally, there was some work done in the Rapid ILL holdings check. So I understand there are libraries that are using the Rapido tile offer on their local holdings, and sometimes they weren't seeing the offer on items that they know they held at their library, even though display logic rules, etc., aligned with the visibility. And there was some work done by our Rapid ILL team so that the holdings check is making sure it's considering their library as a lender, even if their library is the only holding library of that material, so that that library's end users can continue to see the Rapido tile offer for those items. And then you can see here there are other various items that our team has worked on to resolve various kind of cases in the March release. Okay, I've got one frequently asked question that I want to kind of acknowledge today, and then I will switch over to looking at what the various questions are that you have for us today. So I've had the question, how do I make the request expire with the hold shelf instead of the due date? So the use case and kind of context for this question is perhaps your hold shelf only has a certain amount of space, and thus you have a hold shelf expiry set that works for your library, but your resource sharing requests, or instead of matching that hold shelf timeline, are staying on the hold shelf and not expiring until the due date, you can make a configuration decision so that it aligns with your hold shelf expiry, thus helping you stay with less items on your hold shelf, or maybe items not being on your hold shelf for as long. So there is capacity for you to align your resource sharing request hold shelf expiration with your general hold shelf expiration. So we've got that in documentation, and if you've got further questions about that, let's connect. I'm going to share a few different links of items that I acknowledged today, specifically from the community section of the webinar. So I'll be posting that into the chat today, and then I'm moving to the chat to see what questions you have. Right. Stop sharing. For you, and then I'll move into the chat to see what your questions are today. This link should now be available to you in the chat. Okay, I see a question. I think this is in the context of that FedRAMP authorization. Does that include Library of Congress? To be honest, I'm not sure what their requirements are. If they're an institution that requires that FedRAMP authorization, I'd have to look into their requirements more explicitly. But if they do require that FedRAMP authorization, Rapido now has that. Let's see. There are other questions to speak to. I am seeing a question that's explicit to university UNC and how they'll be lending, meaning if they'll be charging or not. I can't speak to this at that time. I don't know what decision that library will make when they go in live with Rapido, if they'll be joining the reciprocal pods or if they'll be using invoice functionality that to be charging one another. I can't speak to the decisions they'll be making. Checking the chat and the Q&A to see if there's anything else that comes through today. I see a question about merge partners. Can you merge partners regardless of profile type, with the example of email partner into ISO partner? I will get back to you, Dev. I understand it as merging partners into the Rapido partner type. Let me see if it will work for email into ISO. I'm assuming ISO non-Rapido partner. Yes, and I understand that not all of your ISO partners are Rapido partners, so I will check into that. And clarifying, I see another question. Can we merge partners if one of the partners was created in the NZ? No, you can't be merging NZ partners. Okay. I'm being asked to give the brief basics of a hybrid pod. So we don't have entire session time today to go into this. So I just want to acknowledge it briefly. For those who are unfamiliar, hybrid pods are subpods that are established where Rapido libraries are working with Alma libraries. The Alma libraries are doing their resource sharing in their Alma environment, and the Rapido libraries are using their Rapido workflows. There's a bit more to that today, but it's a bigger topic than I think our brief Q&A session. So those are the questions that I'm seeing today. If I didn't get to your questions, please send me an email. Or if there's follow-up that we need to do with one another, happy to work with you via email. So thank you everyone for your time today. Take care.